Well, Larry, last time you said we would be back talking potentially about colonoscopes on the heels of our bronchoscope discussion around biopsy ports. And now I wouldn't say same, but similar reports that you've been investigating around some issues with balloons falling off. So this is kind of a natural segue, I think, in our conversation as we call out additional mod report assessments that you've done to identify areas that require some increased emphasis and attention.
Right. So we talked about a couple of videos ago about the duodenoscope, these new novel duodenoscopes that have removable distal end caps, and we talked about some adverse event reports discussing the potential for these end caps to fall off and into the patient's GI tract. And I was recently reviewing some adverse events, and I found a similar kind of situation, different in many ways, similar in some, where the balloon that the user attaches to the distal end of a EBUS or a ultrasound bronchoscope. And why do you have this balloon? Well, the balloon is filled with saline or water, and you have this there so that you can contact the airway and that you can facilitate and enhance imaging. You need kind of an acoustic coupling, if you will. And this balloon then is filled with water, but the balloon attaches to the distal end of the bronchoscope. And there are a few reports identified where that balloon is falling off. And why did it happen? It's not entirely clear. It appears that balloons that were intended for an earlier bronchoscope model are now being used on newly introduced models, and there may not be an exact fit. Okay, so what is the corrective action? It's not really clear, but I would emphasize 2 points. One, do a visual assessment and make sure that that balloon is fitting well on the distal end of that endoscope. And if you do see it being prone to falling off, please contact the manufacturer and talk about what actions you can take, because we don't want components of endoscopes, whether it's a duodenoscope, a bronchoscope, or any type of endoscope, falling off in the patient's GI tract, or in this case, it could even be in the patient's airway, which can be problematic. So I wanted to bring that to the audience's attention.
Excellent, Larry. Thank you, and more to come.
Yes, many more to come.